Hello. Tonight I am going to do a VR to Astral Lady Tarot, and I'm doing the oh no, I'm drawing a blank. This only happens when I film. It's the decks I would repurchase hashtag, which when I figure it out will go up here somewhere. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Now I'm second guessing myself. Yes, I have 11 decks. So let's do like first things first. The one I forgot to put with the others. So Rider-Waite-Smith, as much as I hate putting this in the list, I feel like it's cheap, it's easy enough to get your hands on, and it's got the symbolism that sometimes you want to refer to, sometimes you just want to refer to that traditional tarot card. Now, this being said, I would probably get like a mini version of it, not like the teeny tiny one. I just saw one the other day that was probably like this big. I'd probably do that because I don't feel like I need this big of a version. It's just, this is the one I have. This is the one I was forced to buy for my tarot courses. So this is the one I have right now. And it stays somewhere super accessible. Like I said, it's a reference one. So, okay, indie deck. How many indie decks do I have? 1, 2, 3, 4. That's it. Okay, so the first indie deck, and this one's kind of like a maybe. The Aurum Lenormand. So I tried to get into Lenormand this year, and it never really happened. I have three. By several, I mean 3. I have 3 Lenormand decks. I have the cute little Lenormand and I have the Celtic Lenormand, both of which I purchased just for the learning and the books. This one I purchased because I love it. You can see the gold stamping, the gold foiling. The creator talks about how in Japanese culture, I think, when pottery is broken, they just kind of glue it back together and paint over the cracks with gold, and it's gorgeous. This creator is also super close to me, proximity-wise, so love supporting them. I love the black and white. So yeah, if I had to buy a Lenormand deck all over again, it would be this one. And I probably would eventually. This wouldn't be like at the top of the list. Gorgeous. But it would probably eventually happen. So that's the Aurum Lenormand by, I think her name is Melissa Witherspoon. And it's a cute story about her and her son, how they created this deck together. So that's the first indie deck down. Next is one I've talked about many a times, the Prism Oracle. This one is just, it's so easy to get. It's a mass market, so it's really easy to get your hands on, and it's very practical. Wow, that looks great under the light. Does a great job. There's so many uses for it. Goes with almost everything. And like I said, it would be super easy to find again. Like Amazon, no problem. I don't even think it was that expensive. So yeah, this one is a no-brainer. What else? Oh, we're gonna do another mass market. I think there's 2 indie at the very end. One's kind of in the middle. The Lightseers. Again, I hate admitting how much I enjoy this deck, but I do. So this was a toss-up between the Luna Soul, which I just bought and I was raving about, and this one. Ultimately, I chose this one just because the color palette is more my taste. It's more my style. This is just a fun, I don't know, bright, vibrant, easy read, relatable read. I really enjoy it. I unfortunately don't use it too often, but I feel like if I'm going to be reading for my friends, this is probably like the #1 deck I would use to read with my friends. And again, super easy to get your hands on. Mass market. So also, I clearly haven't edged it yet. I don't know what I'm going to do about that. Like, is that black? Should I edge it in black? Or should I edge it in this like teal color? Decisions. Next, we have another mass market. The Wild Unknown. This one was kind of like, I wasn't too sure about it, which is ultimately why I went with the tin version. Because I'm not sure. I like that it has the same book that the big boy has. And I feel like I would get the tin version anyway, just because I'd be wanting to pare down. So I don't know. This deck has a special place in my heart. Again, I don't read with it too often. I did have a moment with this deck in November. I just like it. I don't know. It was my first ever tarot deck, which, heed my warning, don't do that. But I think that's why it has a special place in my heart. And like I said, I would go with the tin version for space, and this would be like a good one for travel. Even though this is kind of is a honkin' tin, I feel like this would be a good one for travel, like toss in the suitcase or whatever. And another thing I wanted to talk about is how this video is different from the only 10 decks one that was going around. Because at first I was like, well, wouldn't it just be the same decks that you choose for only 10 decks? And I thought, no, it is different because you've got your collection. I prefer to say my shelf. You've got your shelf of decks in front of you for only 10 decks. You're looking at those decks and you're choosing which ones are going to come with you to your deserted island, or as your house is burning around you, you're choosing which ones you're going to save. This one is different because you would be starting your collection from scratch, and consumerism and blah, 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 space, and how I basically hit the ground running with purchasing tarot decks, I would be more mindful about what I bring into my space. So that's the difference I have found. Anyway, Indie, the Reclaim Oracle. I'm pretty sure that a lot of indie decks didn't make this list because now, oh, I love that moon. Shipping is very expensive. Like, shipping, don't even get me started. So this one's flipped around because it was my 2023 card. Shipping's very expensive. Shipping is more than it was when I purchased this deck. Actually, it might have gone up for the other one that I just purchased last month, but I've had this one for a little bit. Yeah, this deck, I just love it. Sorry, I am filming at night and that is my nightmare. But yeah, I'll try to keep the glare off. I don't use this deck often, but that's on purpose because usually when I pull from it, it does strike a chord, and I find it gets you where you need to be got. If you're smelling what I'm stepping in. I just find it's very, I don't know, it hits you in the feels. And like, look how many cards there are. This is, and I think there's been more added. I think there was an expansion pack or something added since I bought this. It is a chunky monkey, and I love it. But I love that it, I don't know, it does something that no other deck I have does, and I like that. So, the Reclaim Oracle. That one, I would pay the shipping. Another one, mass market, Seasons of the Witch, the Samhain, the Yule Oracle, probably. I would probably also get that one. I don't know. This one more so. We all know this one. We all know how shiny it is. We all know the red gilding. That's crazy. Yeah, this just scratches a Samhain itch. I love it. I do love the Yule one as well. I did use it quite a bit in November, December, this past year, 2022. So to be honest, I probably would buy it as well, but this one would be first. And I would probably wait a little bit for the Yule. I don't know, maybe that's just because we just had Yule and I like just used it and I'm like, yeah, whatever. But this one is great. Everybody loves this one. So this would be another one that I would purchase fairly quickly, assuming I lost everything. It would be a replacement. This one. Now, I'm not sure if this is only on the list because it's brand new to me or because I really like it. Time will tell. The Wild Unknown archetypes. And that's also partially why I wanted to bring the Wild Unknown Tarot deck along, because it goes with these. Again, we all know what this deck is. It's made its rounds, but it's new to me. And I have enjoyed working with it. And I want to work with it more. So I think if I lost my entire collection, I'd be disappointed that I didn't get to work with this as much as I would like. So for that reason, it would be welcomed back onto my shelf with an open wallet. It's very expensive. It's like 45 bucks Canadian. I did get this for 20 bucks off, so that made it easier for me to buy it. But there's lots of cards and weird. There's lots of cards and I don't know, it's worth it. So I would try and get something off again. I don't know how well it would go. So yeah, Wild Unknown Archetypes deck. It would be another replacement that I would make. It's hissing at me. Okay. Another one that I just thoroughly enjoy and I like using, the Intuitive Night Goddess. This is the mass market version. So again, mass market. Easy to get your hands on, not so expensive. I just love, I don't know, I just think this is beautiful. I really enjoy working with it. I enjoy the people. I enjoy the aesthetics. I enjoy the renaming. Oh God, I enjoy the smell. I just love it. God, like, how awesome is that? Something about this deck. And this would scratch that feminine itch. I have a couple of decks on my shelf. See, there's another one of those renamed ones. I have a couple of decks on my shelf that are like feminism energy. I almost just said feministic. Feminine energy? What am I trying to say? That I enjoy. I really do enjoy. But they're indie. So again, I wouldn't be spending that much money to refill my shelf. So this would scratch that itch. This would be the deck that replaces those ones in the mass market. So, Intuitive Night Goddess, mass market edition, would be one of the first ones. Actually, it might be the first one I would buy. It would be between this one and Lightseers, maybe, just because I feel like Lightseers is the like Rider-Waite-Smith kind of clone that I'd be looking for. Okay. Last two are both indie. This one was a lot of money. It was a lot of money, and that's why purchasing it again would make me cry. But a lot of thought went into purchasing this deck. In case we haven't figured it out yet, it's the Ritual Tarot by Tierra May. And I did complain about this deck. So some of you might be like, wow, why would she buy that again after she just complained about it? Because look at the chipping. Oh, the light isn't making that good. And some of them, like, it goes on to the front of the card. Let me find the brutal one. Well, if we come across it, we'll see. But I just put so much thought into getting this deck, and I made a financial sacrifice to purchase this deck. And yeah, it made me mad that it was really expensive. I'm not gonna lie, definitely made me mad. But I love it. I do love it. And I love when people put so much work into something and it makes it beautiful. So it probably wouldn't be one of the first ones I would buy, not because I would want it that way, but because it would take me a little bit to work up to buying it, both financially and mentally, emotionally, but it would make its way back in, definitely. And I would have the new Lust card, which I don't have right now. The new edition is coming with a Lust card, which I'm sad I won't have. So yeah, there's that. I would get that. But just like the detail, oh my gosh. So yes, as much as I've complained about the chipping and I've complained about the cost, you know, like what is happening there? Is that, oh no, that's a, that is the bad one. We found it. See, it goes right on to the front of it. And now I know which one it was. I didn't know which card it was before, and I wanted to keep it that way, and well, now I just failed. Yeah, so I would buy it again. I would. I also put in a lot of work into my deck study with this. Spent a lot of time studying this deck, and I would hate for that to all be for nothing. And I have big plans for this deck, and I want to be able to fulfill those plans. So there's that. Another one is also brand new to me. This is the last one, and this is the Hellenic Oracle by Garden Goddess Tarot, Thea. I love this deck. I have the revised, the revised. Anyway, I have the 100 card one. I love the cardstock. Like, I will play with this at night while I'm watching TV. For that alone, it's worth it. But I love it. Also, the creator is local to me in proximity. So as I said, I love supporting local. I have, since purchasing this deck, dove in head first into studying Greek mythology, and I'm obsessed. I'm reading a Greek mythology book. I am watching a Greek mythology show. I am listening to a Greek mythology podcast. All of the Greek mythology things. So same thing as like the ritual tarot. I put a lot of time into this deck. This one still has quite a ways to go. The ritual tarot, like, yeah, I can pick that up and work with it just because of my tarot knowledge. This one, like, who is this? The Sphinx. I don't know a whole lot about the Sphinx. So I have to research it. I got to figure it out. And that's what I'm in the process of doing. And I would, again, hate for all of that to be for nothing, first of all, but also I'm enjoying doing it. One of my favorite cards. I'm enjoying it. I feel like I'm in school, but fun school, not math and French. Yeah, and it's just kind of like ignited a desire to learn, and I don't know. I've created a couple of notebooks on it. If you watched my December video, I am clearly really conflicted about how I want to organize said notebooks. So, but yeah, this would be another one I would repurchase. Again, the shipping cost made me feel rage. So I almost think for some of the indie decks, I would find a way to ship them to the States, because I am in Canada, in case we didn't figure that out. And I would ship them to the States so that it would be cheaper. And then I would just figure it out. I don't know if I would have to send them to like a P.O. box, if I'd have to go down there and get a P.O. box in Buffalo or something. I would figure it out. Because shipping makes me want to cry. really makes me want to cry, especially when like I would already have had these decks in my possession and then not had them in my possession for purposes of this video and why we're doing what we're doing. How sad would you be if you lost all your tarot decks? Like, do you think in the grand scheme of things, your tarot decks would be like one of the worst things that you lose if your house burnt down? I feel like it wouldn't. It would just be sad and frustrating that you'd have to buy them all over again. We've got one more. So yeah, these are the decks. You're not that important. Well, I don't want to be mean, but the other ones mean more. These are the decks I would repurchase if something happened to my shelf, my tarot shelf. These are the ones I'd buy all over again. Shipping and everything. So yeah, wait, 1, 2, 3, 4 mass market. I don't know, maybe over time I would get more, but these would be the immediate ones. How many oracles do I have? 3, just 4. Okay, that's a fair number. Anyway, enjoy. Again, I'm loving watching everyone else's, so keep them up. I'm obsessing. Have a good night.